Today, we're going to talk about the role of the parasympathetic nervous system and polyvagal theory in trauma recovery. So, trauma does not just affect thoughts and emotions, it fundamentally alters the nervous system's ability to regulate itself. Understanding how the parasympathetic nervous system, or PNS, functions, particularly through polyvagal theory, can provide valuable insights into how trauma survivors can regain a sense of safety and emotional balance. Developed by Dr. Stephen Porges, polyvagal theory suggests that the autonomic nervous system has evolved beyond the traditional fight or flight model. And this includes a social engagement system that promotes safety and connection. Polyvagal theory identifies three primary nervous system states. There's social engagement, or the ventral vagal activation. When the ventral vagus nerve is active, a person feels safe, connected, and emotionally regulated. This is the ideal state for therapy and healing. There's fight or flight, the sympathetic activation. When danger is detected, the sympathetic nervous system mobilizes the body for action, increasing heart rate, cortisol, and hypervigilance. And there's also shutdown and dissociation, or the dorsal vagal activation. If a threat is overwhelming, the dorsal vagus nerve triggers a freeze response, leading to numbness, disconnection, and emotional collapse. Trauma survivors often get stuck in a chronic fight or flight or shutdown, unable to return to a regulated state. Strengthening vagal tone, or the ability to shift into a calm, parasympathetic state, is a key part of recovery. However, polyvagal theory remains controversial because while it provides a compelling framework, some researchers argue that its claims are not fully supported by strong empirical evidence. Critics point out that polyvagal theory oversimplifies the nervous system, ignoring the complex interplay between brain regions and neurotransmitters that regulate emotions. Think serotonin, dopamine, glutamate, GABA, norepinephrine, all that fun stuff. They also say that it places too much emphasis on vagal tone, potentially neglecting other factors that influence nervous system regulation. And they say it lacks strong scientific validation. Many of its key claims remain theoretical rather than rigorously tested. And again, this is why it's a theory right now. It could be misapplied in therapy, leading clinicians to over-interpret client behaviors based solely on vagal tone without considering broader neurobiological and psychological factors. But despite all these criticisms, polyvagal theory offers a useful framework for understanding how the body processes safety and threat, particularly in trauma treatment. More research is needed to validate its claims and refine clinical applications. But healing from trauma requires helping the nervous system move out of survival mode and into regulation, and I think we can all agree with that. Some key methods from polyvagal theory include grounding techniques, simple practices like pressing feet into the floor, holding a cold object, or engaging in the slow movement help shift the brain's focus away from distress and into the present moment. Breathwork and meditation is also really powerful. So this can be slow, deep breathing, such as in diaphragmatic breathing or box breathing, and that stimulates the vagus nerve, signaling safety to the body. Meditation helps the nervous system to stay present without becoming overwhelmed. Regulation and social connection. So the nervous system is wired for connection, as polyvagal theory believes. Being with a safe, regulated person, whether it's a therapist, a loved one, or a support group, helps retrain the brain to recognize safety. And somatic experiencing and body-based therapies can be really helpful when we think of trauma being stored in the body. Gentle movement like yoga and somatic processing can help release trapped energy and restore a sense of control. So there's the basics about polyvagal theory. If you're interested in hearing more, I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you're interested in. Thanks.